Greetings and greetings to you all. Thank you for joining us again in this 5 minute spiritual quest. My name is Master Abdullah Ngom. And today in this 5 minute journey, we're going to talk about the power of darkness, a force that cannot be destroyed, which is the foundation of all creation and the foundation of all the systems of this world. So, this is today's topic on this 5 minute spiritual journey, the indestructible force of darkness. Now, let's take the scientific theory of the Big Bang as the beginning of creation and the allegorical story of creation. Both claim that there were the void of darkness first before the light of creation. So, both scientific and allegorical theory believe that darkness outdates the light of creation. But let's take the allegorical narrative that God called out the light out of darkness. Thus creation came to be, and darkness become the foundation of creation. Now, as God called out the light out of darkness, the builders of the system of this world, they had to distort the purpose of darkness in order to build their demonic systems that control or enslave, if you will, or imprison an entire civilization, meaning the human race. Now, the builders of the system of this world had to first distort and demonize the purpose of darkness with slogans that such as bad, evil, impure, and so on. Just then, the deadly battle between good and evil, light versus darkness, was set in motion. Then religion was formed as agents of the light on a mission to destroy darkness. And many souls will perish through this catastrophic allegorical illusion by trying to destroy what cannot be destroyed. When you remove the fabricated slogans that are linked to darkness, such as bad, evil, impure, and holy, and so on, just then you will realize it's not darkness that need to be feared, but what is hidden in darkness. But what is hidden in darkness, but not darkness. Because the builders of the system who hiding in the darkness, if they were walking on the street bumping shoulders with people, their system will not be able to function the way it does. Because these creatures, they're not powerful creatures. They're just full of tricks. They are clever creatures full with tricks, but not powerful creatures. So that's why they hide behind closed door, behind in the darkness, for not to be seen. But if humankind knew who built the system which they devote to, whether it's religious, cultural, or the ruling authority as a government, if humankind see who built these systems, that's why it is extremely crucial, extremely crucial for humankind to understand the true purpose of darkness. That darkness is not the enemy to the light. When humankind able to understand the purpose of darkness outside of the fallacies of the allegorical dogma, just then you will realize that the light and the darkness are not enemies. These two elements are not enemies. They are both relevant to the fabric of existence. Each play a pivotal role in existence. Neither one is more relevant than the other when it comes to the whole or the balance. Because without the darkness, you will not need the light. Without darkness, you will not need the light. So the darkness gives light a purpose. Now, just entertain your imagination for a second. Imagine a reality where there's no darkness. Because when there is no darkness, light is not needed. Because the darkness gives light a purpose. Now, imagine a reality where there's no darkness and there's no light. A reality where there's no darkness and there's no light. This is a mathematical equation that if you take all the humankind, all the human brain, all the billions human in this world, all their brain, you put them together as a super brain, they will not be able to solve this equation. A reality where there's no darkness and there's no light. Even these demonic entities who, based on their cleverness, who think they earn the status of godhood, this theory, a reality where there's no darkness, there's no light, clever they seem to be, this will crash their brain. They will not be able to solve it. So what is so relevant in existence? Without it, there will be no existence. That cannot be the enemy. That cannot be an enemy of existence. Darkness is not the enemy of the light. Without darkness, light has no purpose. Without darkness, light has no purpose. And is a force, is the foundation of creation, a force that cannot be destroyed. Darkness is a force that cannot be destroyed, can be only overshined by the light, but cannot be destroyed by the light. When the sun rises, when the sun sets, darkness is back right where it was. Didn't go anywhere. It was overshined by the light, by the sun. When you enter your room at night, you turn on the light because it's dark. The moment you turn off the light, the darkness back right where it was. It didn't go anywhere. This is the force of darkness. Cannot be destroyed and was not meant to be destroyed. It was meant to be understood. And why this is crucial, just bear with me, it's crucial. Why the builders of the system had to demonize darkness for it to be feared, one shame about it. And some see it as something to be destroyed. But darkness is so extremely crucial to be understood when it comes to, for one, to metamorphose to their better version. That's why the builders of the system have to demonize darkness for one to fear darkness. It's like the metaphor of the butterfly and the caterpillar. Same thing with us, and same thing with human. You have to go to become a butterfly. You have to go to the cocoon. It's inevitable. When there's not one soul ever walk in the soil of this earth without these two elements, the light and the dark. Because these are the fabric, these are the these are the blueprint of all existence in this physical world. Every human being carry the blueprint of these two elements, the light and the dark. Because without it, one is incomplete. One cannot exist without these two elements, the light and the dark together. One cannot exist in this physical world without these two elements, the light and the dark. And the darkness is the cocoon where one have to go to transform to their better version as the butterfly. That's why the builders of the system have to demonize darkness to be something to be feared of, to be shamed about, to be condemned. Thus that will be a barrier. Thus humankind will not be able to go through that darkness for the better version, for the metamorphosis to better version. And this door have to be open. That's what all these things are all about. All this doctrine, that's what it's all about. These are the doors to prevent people from going through it. This is what these are. That's why these things are dangerous. This doctrine are dangerous. This doctrine are the door that prevent people from going through the cocoon that they meant to go. In the spiritual term, we call the shadow work. Because through that, only you can come out to your better version. Just like the butterfly and going through the cocoon first to become a butterfly. And what this does, they come to promise you that they can turn you into butterfly without going to the cocoon. That's what this does. They can promise you to have, they can promise you heaven, they can promise you to be, they promise that no one under the heaven have the authority or the capability to grant to anybody. The butterfly have to go to his own cocoon. Each one have to go to the same process. It's not by group, it's personal journey. The butterfly have to go alone by himself in his own cocoon. Not two butterfly in the cocoon or five butterfly in the cocoon. No. Each butterfly with their own cocoon have to go to the same process in order to metamorph. It's a personal journey. That's what makes this thing dangerous. Prevent people to face the darkness to become who they were meant to be in this life. No one can do it for nobody. If you don't willing to go to the darkness of the cocoon, you can never turn out to be a butterfly. The cocoon, the darkness is inevitable. If I would have put a metaphor, it would be like, let's say the person is two entities. The physical body is the outer self, the one that can be seen, the physical body. The inner self, that's the dark part. That's where the cocoon is, the dark part. The one that you don't see. Because the person are two elements, two entities. That's why when one dies, everything about the physical self remains. Nothing lives, but the person is dead. The body, after the person died, the body, every element remains. And the body will be what? Buried, cremated, burned, or many other ritual or custom that people do to dispose the dead body. Because when the inner self is no longer exists, the person will be pronounced dead. That inner self is what the cocoon is. That's who you truly are. The physical body is just the vessel. But unfortunately, we focus more on the vessel than who we truly are. That's where these things come to tell you who you are, what you need to do. Know who you are, what you need to do. You will find out there when you go to your cocoon. No one can explain you the reality of the cocoon, your cocoon. Now, everybody have to go to their own cocoon. Everybody has to go to the experience. Now, the reason you need to go to the cocoon alone, because your inner self, the dark part, what lies in the dark, here, you alone know what they are and where they are. No one else knows. Not a prophet, not the angel, no written in any doctrine. What is in there, in the darkness that within, only you know. That's why it's a personal journey for you to go in. And why you have to go in, because this is the reason you need to go in the cocoon. Because there's the two elements. The physical part is the element that display what we call virtues, good behaviors, what is acceptable, what is valued, what is admired, because that's what we act in outside society. Now, the dark part, that's where the behaviors lies, the bad attitude and all the things that is we are afraid to express outside world. They are hidden there, and sometimes we spend so much effort trying to keep them there, to conceal them, because they are not approved, they are condemned, and they can create chaos in the physical world. But within us, our demon, our inner demons. They can be so bad to be labeled inner demon. Now, this is what the battle between good and evil, light and dark, whatever you want to call it, is. It's not external, it's internal. The battle between good and evil is not external, it's internal. That's where the battle good and evil is fought, not on the outside. No, that's a religious fallacy. That's created by the builders of this system. But the war between good and evil is within. Between the light and the dark is within. It's not external. The battle good and evil is not external, it's internal. If there were not these systems, religion, culture, and government, for people to unite, to fight in the name of good and evil, that will be unlikely. Because these are the systems that come to define what is approved and what is condemned. It's their ideologies, it's their values, the systems, the three systems: religion, culture, government. If was not the narrative of how life's supposed to be, it would be unlikely for people to gang up to go to war, nation against nation. When I question the relevancy of these elements that are formula of the systems and realize that darkness is not to be feared. Because if creation came out of darkness, darkness must be relevant. If the baby come out of the darkness of the mama's womb, metamorphs in the darkness to become a human being, just like the butterfly went to the cocoon and turned out metamorphed to butterfly. The same with us. Embryo in a mother's womb come out to this world as a living being. It's the same process with the butterfly. Darkness from darkness to the light. So darkness should not be something to be feared. Darkness is not an enemy, it's not something to be feared because we come out of darkness. God created creation out of darkness, and we come out through darkness, come out into this world through darkness. But these elements condemn darkness, demonize darkness, for darkness to be feared, for one purpose only, for one not to go through the darkness of within to transform to their greater version in life. Only purpose to prevent people to tap into their higher self. That's what this thing does. That's what makes them dangerous. A personal process. They galvanize a mass to promise them that they can deliver them without going to the process. They promise shortcut that they can never deliver. They promise shortcut, a promise that they can never deliver. They cannot go to the cocoon for you. Certainly, they cannot take you to heaven without you doing the work. That's what makes this thing dangerous. When it comes for one to be their better self in this life. Okay. When I had to go to do the shadow work, go to the dark, because my inner demons, let's say the behaviors, they upgrade, evolve to be demons because they were disrupting my life at large. They were supposed to be there quiet in the dark. No. They become loud, and through that loudness, they get emboldened to cause disruption in your life to a point where they want to take over. I mean, when your behaviors that is not approved, that does not serve you well to interact around, when those behaviors take over, your life can be in a very unfavorable position of very dangerous situation. And that was my case, where I had to go and confront my demons to the dark. That's what shadow work is. You go to confront your own demons. I say I'm ready, because this is the thing. You're in a situation where you have to think if your life really worth living, because if it does, you have to go and take care of these demons before they ruin your life. So, of course, I'm not going to allow my inner demon, like self-destruction, allow my inner demon to destroy my life. I have to go inside to face them. This is a battle that no one can do it for you. It's a battle. No one can do it for you. Then I make the decision. I'm going in. It's a journey that you go in. When you go in, the rule of the war is conquer or be conquered. When you go in, when you come out, you're not going to be the same. It's either you conquer them or be conquered. And to me, in my case, I have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose because my life was about to be in a situation where not worth living. So I had nothing to lose. I'm gonna go face these demons and give them everything I got. And I want to do the shadow work. It's just like a war, any conflict. You only know when you're getting in, but you can never predict what lies in waiting for you. See, I know it's gonna be tough. There's a lot of demons probably lying down there, but doesn't matter how you process, you will never know till you get in. Then when I went in, the obvious one that I want to tackle first, anger, low self-esteem, many other demons that I want to tackle first. Take them one by one, one by one. Before you know it, you disturb demons who are just laying down in the darkness, want to be left alone, but you disturb them. And now they join the battle. You'll see them coming from all directions. I didn't know I had this word. I never experienced it. So yeah, they're going to be coming from all directions. Demons that you probably saw once, even in your childhood or years ago. They got tired and just lay there. Want to get rest. And the moment you came, they say, okay, somebody disturbed my peace. Before you know it, you will be surrounded by wounds, trauma, many demons, and each have their own mask. You find yourself in the middle of Armageddon. Now the battle is exactly what it truly is. Conquer or be conquered. Conquer or be conquered. Then you know what? I didn't come here to be conquered. These are my own demons. Listen to that. They're my own demons. Not somebody else's demon. They're my own demons. So I have the authority to control them. They're my own demons. Then it clicks. That you're the boss here. You're the warrior here. And the moment they see the determination, the willingness to never drop your sword, your sincerity, your ferocity, the moment they will see that sincerity, they will drop their sword. Because you're not going to come into my house and want to take over. you will have to live by my rule. Then they were conquered, every last one of them. I didn't went halfway. I went to the depth where there was no more to go. Make sure there's no one hiding anywhere else. Comfort them all. Once that was there, I recognized when I was a child, they were there. Bring them all, conquer them all, line them up. Now, here am I standing in the depth of darkness, facing my enemies. And now have to determine their fate. Just then where you realize that you have become them. No. So I said, you have become their better version. You have become their upgrade version. You become the upgrade version of your enemies. Because the ruthlessness, want to conquer by all means, makes you adopt to the dark. That's the part one need to understand. When you go to war, the battle can turn you to be the worse than your enemies. The battle can turn you to be the worse than your enemies. And that's what I find myself. After conquer them all. Now I find myself in the middle of in the depth. And realize that this amount of ferocity of conquer by all means, does belong only in the darkness. That belong only in the darkness, not out there. Then that's the second stage of the war. Conquer your enemies is one thing. What to do with them or how you gonna be metamorphed, that's what another thing. Because you're going as a demon. When you're there, you're a demon. You have to come out as an angel. Understand? When you face your demon, become their upgrade version. You become a demon like them who deserve to stay in the darkness. Now you have to come out angel, just like the butterfly go to cocoon and to the butterfly. Now you go as a warrior, as a fighter, as a demon to conquer your demon. But when you're coming out, you have to come out as an angel to metamorph to your better version as an angel. The warrior have to stay, the demon part have to stay in the dark because that's where it belongs. If you bring it out with you, your journey to the darkness will be in vain. In that moment, the second battle, that's where it's not the battle of the mind, physical battle, it's the battle of the soul. When you go in, after you conquer your enemies, all the behaviors, all the demons that disturb your life or cause chaos in your life or in the life of others. When you conquer these demons, the next battle is the battle of the soul. How to cleanse your soul, to leave all that darkness in the darkness. How to cleanse your soul, to leave all that darkness in the darkness, because that's where it belongs. You cannot come out of the shadow of it. You leave them in the darkness. That is a battle of his own. And that is where, because you're in the middle of darkness, the light you will need to cleanse your soul, that will be a good moment to call out to God. That will be a good moment to call out to God. So I did. So I did. And my declaration to God was, if I cannot conquer the darkness of the soul here, let me stay here in this darkness. Because I have become the enemy I was fighting. I have become them. And I want to transform, metamorph to an angel when I come out. And I ask help for God. And God come to my rescue. Just then, when I saw the light, and I'm gonna come out of this darkness, not as a demon, not as I come in, but I'm gonna come out this darkness as an angel. Because I'm ready to do the work, the cleansing. I'm ready to do the cleansing, to metamorph, to become an angel when I come out. And in that process, that's where I make peace with my demons. I make peace with them. I make peace with them. So now they know what my life would to me. If I'm willing to go this step, my life would. So they respect that. So I make peace with them. So thus they will no longer be a threat or disturbing my life or my peace. However, the ones that I have no faith that they can be truly domesticated, the one that only thing they can do and know how to do is to destroy. These fierce demons, what I did with them, I create a prison cell within to lock them up. Make sure they will never come out without my authorization. I lock them in a prison cell, not with a key, but with a digital code, with 3 digital code that will open that door at my presence. Number one is visible. 2, verbal. 3, physical. Meaning when there is a physical threat, verbal threat, visibly confirmed, the door of these unholy demons will automatically open for them to face the threat and do what they do. Because I did not went to Armageddon with my demons to conquer them for nothing. And if my life worth that much to me, that means my life, I will protect my life by all means. I will protect my life from any threat. Therefore, just visible threat, I don't care. Will not shoot me. Verbal will not shoot me. Physical will not shoot me. But where all these three are present, this is someone who wanna destroy. This is a threat who wanna destroy. Therefore, my unholy demons that are locked in the cell with three different digital codes, these are the three combinations that will let them out automatically for them to do what they're supposed to do, take care of the threat. Because I did not take oath with God to walk in the soil of this earth to be the victim of anyone. I did not take the oath with God to walk in the soil of this earth to be the victim of anyone. To be the victim of anyone. And when these unholy demons comes out, they will not, it's not because you reacting. Because when you come out of your shadow and be upgraded to a better version, that's where you see reality as it is. You see people who they truly are in their true natures. All masks will be off. You will be able to see people in infrared vision. All masks beyond the illusion. Infrared sight beyond the illusion. Sensitivity to feel people, energies, their intention. And sound sensitive, meaning when people speak, you will know what is behind it. When you upgrade these three things, you will see people who they truly are in their true nature. The mask will be off. Your sight, infrared, to go beyond the illusion. Sensitive, to feel energy, good intentions or bad intention. Sound, sensitive. You will know the intention behind the words. That's why when you come out of your shadow and be upgraded, it can be very unsettling or very uncomforting to be around people, around many people. Your sensitivity is beyond what they can understand. And usually that can make you be a loner, away from many people, because you know who they truly are. You know the intention. You see beyond the mask, the illusion. People probably you thought they're your best friend or even family related. You see everything as they truly are. Just like the butterfly who was one in the cocoon and able to fly and see reality in a different perspective. When you come out of your shadow and conquer your demons, this is the upgrade of your better version. Come out when as a human being, forth as a demon, and come out as an angel. And when you come out as an angel, that not mean an angel to be walked over. Now, angels are heavenly, but the most fiercest creature God created. Angels are holy, heavenly, but the most fiercest creature that God created when it comes to them do what they need to do, protect what need to be protected. So being an angel doesn't mean to be walked over. So when I came out, I left the unholy demons with it. Keep them, because when I came to this world, I did not make an oath with God to be the victim of anyone. Now I do the work to see how what my life is and do the work. I will protect that life whenever I need to. That's why this unholy demon can only come out for these three reasons: visible threat, verbal, and physical. When this is confirmed, this is someone who mean harm, who mean you harm. And I'm not walking in this world to be a victim of anyone. And that automatically will open the door, the cell door of this holy demon, unholy demon, for them to do what they do. Because it will not be reacting. It will mean justly reacting, justly acting. Because now you can see reality as it truly is. When you can see infrared vision, sound sensitive, know people the true intention, you will not be reacting out of ignorance. You'll be acting out of purpose. And if you rather face the consequences of your evil in tenfold, if you rather that, than doing the simple things, treat others as you want to be treated, respect them, as or act kind to them. If that is harder, too hard for you to do, then rather face the consequences of your evil in tenfold. To me, so be it. So be it. That's the vow I make. I vow to walk on the soil of this earth till the end of my days, to treat people the way I want to be treated. Respect, dignity, kindness. It's what I expect from anyone and everyone. And this is the vow I make to live by till the end of my days. And the same I expect from everyone. That's what happens when you go to Armageddon with your demon and conquer them till you see the word of life. You will not play with someone's life, and absolutely your life is not something to be played with. When you see the word of your life, you will not allow your life to be played with by anyone, let alone to be destroyed. When you go to the battle to see the word of your life, that life you will guard, that life you will honor, and you will expect the same from everyone. That is a life that is not to be played with or to be messed with, or to be taken for granted or to be played with. Because you won a hell of a battle for it. So if you rather face the consequences of your action in tenfold than doing the simple thing, respect and treat people right, that's fine with me. I say so be it. So be it. And for the builders of these systems and their collaborators and those who rally behind them. This message is for you. You are being given a chance that you do not deserve. Because there are some level of crime, even eternal hell is not just justice due to the level of the crime. And for you, the builders, building a system that enslaves entire civilization, that level of crime outweighed eternal hell. But here you are being given a chance. Drop your evil sword of the mind. Drops your evil sword of the mind. Because the elite heavenly warriors are standing in front of your doorsteps or right outside or your dugout holes. The era, a new era have arrived. Time of evil in the land of this earth have expired. You are being given a chance that you do not deserve. Repeat, drop your evil sword. Or the elite heavenly mighty warriors will carry out a moral justice that you cannot stop or see it coming. This is not a warning, it's a message. And we hope that this will resonate. It's time for creatures of this earth to know that the heavenly God is still rule over all his creation. It is time for inhabitants of this earth to know that the mighty heavenly God is still rules his creation. This message might not resonate with many, but one thing should be certain to all, that it is time for humankind to start treating each other with respect, with kindness, with dignity, to reclaim their sovereignty as a creation of a loving God. Time for evil have to come to an end. Time for evil have to come to an end. What a child can do, what a child can do should not be a challenge to anyone else. What a little child can do, that should not be a challenge to a grown adult. Treat one respect and kindness, that is not something difficult. But anyone who rather face the consequences of the evil in 10 timefold If that is easier for them than respecting other people or be kind to people, they call out their own justice. They call out their own justice. If you rather face your evil than treating other right, you have called out your own judgment. So the consequences will be your own making. You have called out your own judgment, and the consequences will be your own making. Because treating other with respect and kindness, that is not supposed to be something difficult for anyone to do. And the time is now. Time is now. Declare by the heavens for humankind to implement. It's God time in the land of this earth. It is God time in the land of this earth. The end of evil, God time in the land of this earth. So I think I'm going to leave it here till next time, and hope that this message resonates within the soul of those who meant to be saved. We hope this message to resonate within the souls that's meant to be saved. We hope this message resonate within the souls of those meant to be saved. Because their time of evil have come to an end. So I think I'm going to leave it here till next time. And as always, be well and God bless. Thank you for tuning in.